Hi there, welcome back to my large-scale Killa Kan project. In this update I'll be building the feet around the ankle joints I made last time. There are a lot of complex shapes in the feet, so I took the time to draw out the parts for the main components in Adobe Illustrator. Once printed, I mostly used this as a reference for measurements. But for some pieces I spray mounted the paper onto some plastic sheet and used it as a template to cut out the shape. This is the base of the foot, with a hole cut for access to the adjustable ankle joint. The ankle joint was glued onto the base. I then cut out the pieces for the front and the back sections of the foot. I glued the side parts of these sections onto the base, leaving the tops off for the moment. Once dry, I was able to cut the grooves across the base of the foot out completely. I then built some partial box sections, which glued inside, providing the inside surfaces of the grooves. I cut out the pieces for the little side pods, which I glued in place. I then added strips connecting the ankle to the front box section. And used some pieces of tube to add the cylindrical shapes either side of the side pods. The tubes were filled with filler to give them solid ends. The curved sides of the side pod are clamped in place while the glue sets. Using the front of the foot as a guide to set the angle of the sanding disc, I was able to shape some 12mm tube to match the angle of the side walls. When fitted to the side wall, the tube was parallel with the front and back wall. I added the trim around the base of the front section, cutting gaps for the tubes and groove. I decided to fill the front and back sections with lead ballast, as I thought this may help to keep the can stable, given how top heavy it is becoming. The remaining space was filled with some sponge to stop any rattling. The tops were then added to the front and back sections. I used some corrugated sheet behind the holes in the front top to add a bit of extra detail. Moving on to the front claws, the basic shape was constructed with plastic. I then added filler to the cavities, which once dry I was able to file into the curved blade edge. The claws are held with some telescoping tube, so are currently removable to make painting easier until I glue them at a later date. Then the remaining little details were added, including a small box, some cylinders, flat shapes, and finally the rear claw that was constructed in a similar manner to the front ones. And here we have a finished foot. The other one is almost complete, so the can won't have to hop around for too long. Eventually I'll also need to add some damage, general wear and tear, and maybe a few rivets for some extra detail. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this update. Until next time, thanks for watching.